There is a particular type of questions in round robin where students find it a little difficult to understand. And those questions read like, the minimum number of wins with which a team could advance to the next stage, or the maximum number of wins with which a team got eliminated, that a team not advancing may have, right? Let's see the complete picture. So each of some number of teams, so let me start with very simple values. 8 teams, each of 8 teams play every other team once. Now, after all the matches are over, the top, let me say 4 teams, this could vary, right? Both these numbers could vary, and we will do multiple situations. The top 4 teams advance to the next stage. Now remember here, when we say top 4 teams, let's say there are some complex tie-breaking rules. So there could be ties for the 4th position or for the top 4 positions. There are ties possible. A match will not end in a draw. Now this is given in the question, this particular question that I am doing. Yeah, this need not be necessary. So in your exercise questions, remember, a draw can be possible. So you'll have to replicate whatever I teach you here in unseen situations also. Okay, let me continue. Even though a draw is not possible, it might end up that the teams are tied with the number of wins. So there are 2 teams, both of them having 4 wins. Now which team is better? Right? There are 4 wins and 3 losses each of the teams. So in that case, I would need tie-breaking rules. So let's say there are tie-breaking rules and 4 of the teams will only go ahead. With this perspective of advancing to the next stage, what is the minimum number of wins with which a team could advance? Favorable. Yeah, so the team is, I would just say, lucky that it scored very less, but it still ended up going in the next round, right? Compare that with this question. What is the maximum number of wins that a eliminating team may have, right? So, or that a team not advancing. So this is that unlucky. He has lots of points, as high as possible, but he did not advance. Okay, so let's go ahead. He may have, again these words are important, could have, may have, we'll see in a while. So let's solve it for 8 teams and the top 4 going ahead. Now the lucky part, so what I'm going to do is, the top 3 teams, I am directly going to say, let me give the maximum wins to them. Why am I giving the maximum wins to them? Then this 4th spot, the other remaining teams will be having fewer wins. And I want fewer wins yet to advance. So it's not a very difficult one actually if you go logically. So what else do we have? We have n is 8. So I'll do that first work. N is 8. So the total number of matches will be 8 into 7, 56. Half of 56, 28. Okay, 28 divided. So the maximum that a person can have is 7. A team maximum wins. The next maximum the next one can have is 6. The next one can have is 5. Okay, so what are these? 7 and 5, 12, 18. 18 wins are done. So let's say these 1, 2, 3 are super teams. They all win against every other team. 1 wins against all of them. 2 wins except 1 wins against all of them. 3 wins against all of them. So they are gone. So how many teams are left? 5 teams are left. Now let's say those 5 teams are all sort of equal. So how many points are left? There are 20 points left. So this is like a sub game, let's see. Right? 5 teams are there. In 5 teams, if they play amongst each other, forget 1, 2, 3, they are super teams. Yeah, they have gone. So these, if you put these logic into picture, it becomes very easy. So these 5 teams are a sub-league. They play amongst each other. each team will play 4, 5 fours are 20, 20 by 2, 10, right? There are 10 wins left. And the 10 wins, if I divide it equally amongst all of them, so all the remaining 5 teams are tied at 2 wins each. And using some complex tiebreaker rules, one of them will go ahead, even though one had as less as just 2 wins. Right? So the answer to this is, what is the minimum number of wins with which? The answer is 2. Run it through, students. Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, at the last moment, especially when we do other questions, a little difficulty arises, right? So run it through. So what are we saying? Okay, minimum wins, but advancing. Advancing means, yeah, good, but then minimum. So lucky. So the others are very, very nice. Okay, and the remaining 5 are all equal to each other. Anyway, let me proceed. Maximum number of wins that the eliminating team may have. Okay, so now very unlucky. So now what are we going to do is, you know what? We are going to go the reverse of this. So we are going to say, oh, it is eliminated. He is not in the top 4. Okay, not in the top 4. But he was unlucky. He deserved to be. Like, think like this. He deserved to be. Okay, so what we are going to say is, the bottom 3 teams. The bottom 3 teams are worst off. Yeah, the bottom 3 teams, the 8th position, right, has got 0 wins. The 7th position will have 1 win for sure, and the 6th one would have 2 wins. Yeah, the 7th will have win against 8, the 6th will have 1 against the 7th and 8th. So these are the bottom 3 teams. Okay, so how many points are gone? 3 points are gone. So how many points are left? 25. And that 25 is tied between all of them. The remaining 5 teams are tied with 5 wins each. But we are talking about 5 teams. Only 4 can advance. So some tie-breaking rules were used, and 4 out of these 5 went ahead, and 1 of them was not going ahead. That one team which did not go ahead had 5 wins, yet it did not go ahead. So the maximum wins that a team not advancing may have is 5. Right? Very complementary to each other in that case, right? So that is lucky. Now, then what is the difficulty? You know, there are students who can, whose memory powers are good, and they can just remember these 2 approaches, even if it is not very, very, thought out and doesn't flow naturally. The problem is sometimes the languages could be pretty confusing. So there is another question here. So let me put it as a third one, right? What is the minimum number of wins that ensures advancing? Now, what is the difference between this and the first one? Here also I am talking of minimum number of wins. Here also I am talking of minimum number of wins. Here it is, the team could go ahead with 2, but then that is a very, very remaining. Okay, that's a very lucky situation, because there was a lot of ties, and then I passed through, or this team passed through because of the tie-breaking rules. Here the funda is, whatever happens, a team, is it always true that a team with 2 wins will always pass through? Remember, there's one team which has gone ahead, but are the other teams also have got 2 points each, but they did not go. So does 2 points ensure that you are going to go ahead? No, if you're lucky, you may. This question is saying it has to advance. And now, while this might seem like a totally new question, this question is just one more than this. Look at this. Is it possible that a team might have a 5 wins and yet not go ahead? So 5 also does not ensure. Look at this 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, everyone. It does not ensure. But tell me, can a person have 6 wins and not pass, not go to the next round? If a team has 6 wins and does not go ahead, then this is the maximum, then this should have been 6. But this is not 6. So this answer comes from here, students. The answer is 6. Getting 6 wins will ensure that I'm going ahead, irrespective of what happens with the others. Here going ahead with 2 is conditional to the others. And what is that conditional? 3 are super good teams and all the rest are tied. Okay, here, okay, so let's see. If this is just one more than this, you see this is could, this is ensure, so that could be a 4th one, but this is not a very nice language, right? So this 4th one, I'm just doing it to complete the picture. Otherwise, I don't think so this language is very nice. So what is this is? What is the maximum number of wins? Maximum number of wins. Let's just say, how do I put it? Maximum number of wins that ensures rejection is not a great thing. Maximum number of wins can never advance. Maximum number of wins with which a team can never advance. This is team may have 5 yet doesn't advance. What is the maximum number that sort of ensures, yeah, it guarantees me or it ensures that I will not advance. With what number of wins can I never advance? Okay. With what maximum number of wins can a team never advance? Okay, this is a pretty precise word, right? What is the maximum number of wins with which a team can never advance? For example, look at this 5. Can a team with 5 never advance? Obviously can. A team with 2 also can advance. So here it is talking about the team is rejected. What is the maximum that it could have conditional to others? Here it is saying whatever happens, a team is never going to advance. And what is the maximum that it can have? Now, if you see, this answer is going to be straight related to 2. If a team can advance under favorable condition with 2 wins, then the answer to this is with 1 win, a team can never advance. Had with 1, if a team could possibly advance, then here I needed the minimum number, then this should have been 1. But this is 2, I need 2, so with 1 I can never advance. Okay, and so why is this maximum? Because, okay, here the numbers are small, so you will not realize it. It's just saying that even a team with 0 is not going to advance, right? So between 0 and 1, no team can advance with this, right? So hope you got this idea. So now let me just repeat this with a little different possibilities, a little quick, right? Maybe just 2-3 minutes. So we did even number of teams advancing. Okay, so let me take it a little larger. Let me say even number of teams and odd number of teams advancing. Okay, so try to be faster than me, students. Okay, try to be faster. Uh, by the time I erase all this, so that you don't have a hangover. Finish it, students. So this time, what do we have? We have 12 teams. Please do that work always before going ahead. So 12 teams. The number of total matches is going to be 12 into 11, 132, half of 132, 66. 11 6 are 66. Okay. Okay, and each team can have a maximum of 11. Each will play 11. Okay. What are we saying? The top 5 teams advance. Okay, the minimum number of wins with which some can go ahead. Oh, so minimum. I have to keep it less. So, but he's lucky. So let's say the others are very nice. Oh, so 4 teams are super. The super 4 teams. Super 4 teams will have what wins? Will have 11, 10, 9 and 8. Right? Yeah. So 21 or rather 20, 30, 38. 38 wins are already done out of 66. So the remaining ones, that's one way. Listen, it takes a little more time. I'll do that in a little while later, right? So I'll say the bottom, how many teams? All 8 teams are tied. So you don't even have to do this. The bottom 8 teams are tied. So just think of it as a sub-league between 8 teams or between 8 teams. Okay, so each one is going to play the other 7. So 8 into 7, 56. Half of 56, 28. 28 points are going to be there between these 8 teams and all of them need to be tied. Okay, now how can 28 is not divisible by 8? Okay, 28 divided by 8 is 4.5. Oh, so these bottom 4.5 is in the average. Oh, so one of them 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4 and 5, 4. These are the bottom ones. Right? And out of these, obviously, the tie will be between these. Between these ones, one of the team is going to go ahead. So what is the minimum that a team can have and yet advance is 5. Let's finish that process completely. Oh, so what was this? 20, 30, 38. How many left over? 38, 48, 58. Or 28 points are left over. Have we reached the same one? 28 points divided, right? So you don't have to go through that way. If you can, why did I start that way? Not many people can understand this sub-league part of only amongst them 8. Why not amongst those 4? Oh, those 4 are very good. They have defeated all of them. All these 4s have defeated these 8 guys, right? So these 8 guys have got no points against them. They are only going to score within them. Okay. What is the minimum number of wins that ensure advancing? Now, if this comes in, you'll have to say, oh, minimum number ensure. Okay, so I'm going to say is, now that becomes a little tough. So the easier language is going to be that unlucky part. Yeah, what happens if I don't advance? Okay, what happens when I don't advance? So again, here what I will just say is, let's say the bottom, how many teams are going to be eliminated? 5 are going to go. 5 are going to go. So the top 6 teams, let's say, are tied. Top 6 teams are tied. And out of these 6, only 5 of them will go ahead. So one of them will be rejected. And that is what the maximum that one can have, yet not advance. Just increase that by 1 and you'll get this score. So how do I do this time? So if it is taxing students for 6 teams tied, what is that score that those 6 teams can have is, you should be able to, okay, I'll tell you how you can do that. But then there's an easy way. The easy way, I'll not give you the numbers, but I'll just give you the way. The easy numbers is you can easily find the scores of the bottom, how many? 6 teams. Bottom 6 teams, right? What are their scores? And keep them as less as possible because you want to give most to these people, right? The maximum that you can get. Okay, so I'm not going ahead, I'm going this way. This sub-league, 6 amongst themselves. 6 5s are 30, half of 30, 15. 15 I have to distribute amongst them. Okay, 15 amongst them I have to give, among 6 of them, 15 by 6, 2.5. Oh, it's not possible. I'm just writing this for your benefit. Oh, so that can be 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. Okay, 6 teams are tied up. So out of these 6 teams, who are okay, wait, these are not the points that they have. These are among themselves. And what happens with the remaining one? Oh, these 6 will play with these 6 also and they'll win against all of them. So each of these 6 teams have won 6 matches against those others. So just add a 6 here. Okay, so when I add a 6 here, the top 6 teams could be tied up with at 8, 8, 8 and 9, 9, 9. Okay, and what are so let's reach the same number using the bottom 6 teams. Let's first answer them. So out of these, who are going to go? 1, 2, 3 are definitely going to go, and 2 more have to go. Out of these, 2 will go, and 1 will be rejected, and the one who is rejected has 8 matches and yet not gone ahead. So what is the minimum needed to ensure going in is going to be 9. Right? We can formalize this again, student. Yeah, it's a simple case of these numbers 2 and k dependent, but you know we hardly do that formalizing. You know, it's much better to think this way. Let's come to these numbers these ways. The bottom 6 teams, what can their scores be? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is summation of 5. This is a sum of I'm also gone slow today, right? 15. Okay, 15 out of a total of 66. So subtract these 15 out of 66, 51. 51 has to be divided among 6 of them. 6 8s are 48, 8 and a half. And if you have 8 and a half, it is 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9. Pairs of 8, 9, right? So have we reached that here again, right? Okay. So with what maximum number of wins can a team never advance? The minimum needed is 5. So with 4, a team can never advance. Hope you got this, right? So I did it for even, odd. You can even do it for odd, even and odd, right? I would just leave that for you. Take any number and try. It doesn't make any difference. Yeah. The only difference here we had was there was the tie did not have all equal. So we have covered those cases as well.